Hi guys, it's Amanda Creative Gardener. So here we have an update for the Bougainvillea. So when I first had this plant, it was just a cut-in. So it was probably about the size of this without obviously the leaves. And I had taken the cut-in from my previous home. And when we moved, I brought it with me and I put it in this spot, and I will link, I think I did a video, it would have been a few years now. I'll link to that so you can actually see the size it was. And over the past few years, it's actually it's growing, and it wants to almost take over this corner. And this actually shows me the kind of environment that it likes for it to flourish so well. I did manage to take another cut in and put it in a different place, and I'll show you that one. And they're very different. I mean, it was taken at a different, it's not as old as this one. So when I did try and move the cut in that I had placed here, it was the roots were too deep. So I thought, let me just leave you here. But this is, I guess, a semi-shaded area. Let's look up above and we'll see what kind of trees we've got above it. We've got the clammer cherry tree here, and it casts a bit of shade. We've got a moringa tree here, and here is another moringa tree. So when the sun passes over, it will pass over here, but this Bougainvillea then has a bit of shade. So they do come in a variety of different colours. They come in a white. I've seen white, I think orangey colour. I've seen a deeper red than this one. This is like a pinky colour. And it's funny, when I think about the colours that we have in the garden, most of the flowers are, this is the deepest, is it the deepest red? The deepest, say, reddish coloured flower that we have. We've got another apple blossom tree that's got pink flowers, and then we've got our trumpet tree with very pale pink flowers, and then we've got yellows and whites. Yeah, those are the colours that we have in the garden at the moment. I would like some other colours as well. So these are, I think when I was reading, they're not true petals, but they're technically leaves, but they turn this colour. So if you actually see the leaves here, you can see the shape is very different from then what emerges around the flower. And we've got some nice opened flowers here. So pretty and very delicate. They're very delicate looking. Okay, so let's go and see. As I say, I did do a cut-in, and we'll see what that one looks like and where it's located. So we're going to take a walk this way. And as I say, yeah, this area that I'm in right now is the more shaded area, and was the first one that I established as I was growing the garden. So let's go and see the other one quickly. So as we're walking to the other one, you can see it's a lot more open. So let's go. And here we are. So this is the other cut-in that I took. It's actually in bloom. I'm not sure, does it look a bit deeper in colour? So yeah, this doesn't have any kind of overhead shade. And as we look up into the sky, we can see the clouds. We had some rain, and we can do with some more. It's been very dry. But yeah, as we can see, this one's growing out into the light, and I have kind of cut it back a bit to try and make sure that it more grows upright, but it looks like it wants to come in this direction. But what I actually want it to do is spread along here. This is my makeshift deadwood fence, deadwood hedge. So literally just putting the deadwood there. I've got some broadleaf thyme growing up, and yeah, when it's a lot wetter, the broadleaf thyme actually really flourishes and covers most of the deadwood hedge. But so this one looks like, I don't know whether that's, it might be burnt with the sun, because it really has been very, very dry. But it actually took. I've taken took in the sense, as a cut-in, I was successful. I have tried to do several other cut-ins and they've not survived. And I just maybe need to pay more attention to them, because I do eventually want these to be at the front of the garden. That was one of the reasons why I got it, because I took the cutting in originally because I wanted the colour to be at the front. But it's nice that I get to enjoy the colour in the back of the garden. So the Bougainvillea itself can be used as a hedge. You can actually cut it to, train it the way you want it to grow. I've seen some beautiful hedges from this, and ones that have all the variation of colour. Is so gorgeous. I have yet to find whether it has medicinal properties. I'm sure that there are some properties associated with this plant. And the other thing that I would like to try and experiment with is whether, I was going to say this is an actual true colour, that if I put it either in between fabric, whether I'll be able to extract some of the dye, or if I put it in a portland mortar, that I will, be able to get some of the colour from it. So I need to do that soon, because I don't want them all to fall before I have a chance to do that experimentation. Anyway, so I hope this little update was useful. I think it survives really well in semi-shade. Although actually, I've got a friend and she's got a massive big hedge of Bougainvillea and it gets full sun. So you just really have to make sure maybe that it's watered. That would help all of the plants. And I've just allowed this to grow as it wants. I've just cut it back when it kind of overhangs the path. So like this one, I'll be taking a cutting and so if they grow out into the path, that's when I'll move them. And this particular one here is coming this way, so there's some cuttings I'll need to take from this, and I'll be putting them outside, probably putting them in a pot first, and allowing them to establish themselves before I then put it into the soil. And by the time it does get into the soil, it will be during the rainy season, so I won't have to worry so much about watering. But that's the Bougainvillea. It comes in a variety of different colours, and it's a really lovely plant to have, making a statement in any part of the garden. Let me move back and look at that. And then where I usually sit, you may be able to see my chair there, and I look down this way. Actually, let's just have a quick look. So when I've finished in the garden and I'm sitting here, I usually look down here, and it's lovely to see the riot of colour we've got going on here. So I hope that's been useful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.